Well, we've made it, society. We've reached the point where we need to teach people how to balance screen time and real life. With more on this, let's join Catherine Price, author of How to Break Up with Your Phone and the founder of Screen Life Balance, a movement dedicated to helping people create healthier balances between offline and online lives. Catherine, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, count me among those. I need to do something. I'm addicted to my smartphone. I'm spending too much time on it. I get home, I spend too much time on my smartphone. I use it so much for work, continuation of that, and I just feel sometimes I'm on it. I've tried some of the tools like, limit your social media, on my iPhone by checking off the boxes in the screen time. It's just not enough. How do I break this addiction?
Well, first of all, our goal, like you're saying, it's not to get rid of your phone. It's to create a healthier relationship and feel less addicted to it and more in control. And what I like to suggest to people who have gone through some of the steps you described and still find it challenging is to take a step back and ask yourself why you actually want to spend less time on your phone, by which I mean, what do you want to be doing instead?
Yeah, watching more TV.
Watching more TV. Okay. Fair enough.
No, outdoors. I want to be outdoors. I want to be enjoying humans in real life.
Okay, outdoors humans in real life sound like very enjoyable things to do with your precious time on Earth. And so I would ask you then, what is a habit that you have with your phone that's getting in the way of your intentions to do those things?
Yeah, I would say it's probably the refreshing social media for the dopamine hit.
Okay, and the dopamine hit, as many listeners may know, is the brain chemical your brain releases to record when something's worth doing again. Mm-hmm. And it's really important, evolutionarily essential, actually, to help us remember to do things like eat and reproduce. But it can be used to establish habits that are bad for us or addictions. And it's frequently used by slot machines to get dopamine triggers are baked into their design to get us to stay in front of the machine. And the same thing is true for our phones. They've got tons of dopamine triggers. So if that's the case, what are you trying to get when you actually keep refreshing your social media feed? What do you think your brain is after?
I don't know. What is it after?
Well, what I like to suggest people do is ask themselves the three questions I call what for, why now, and what else, WWW for short. And the first question is just, what are you checking it for? So like, you just told me you're picking up your phone to check social media, but is there a purpose to that checking, or are you just kind of doing it reflexively? And then the next question is the why now, and that's what I was just kind of getting at with my question is, what is the emotional driver behind you checking? And it sounds to me maybe like, are you looking to see if you got likes or comments, or what do you think your brain's after?
Yeah, I would say that's, a good, if I've posted something, for instance, I posted something to Instagram this morning for this show, right? So I posted a poll. And now I'm just instinctively checking it every break. I'm opening up my smartphone. Got to check that. And I know once I leave here, I'll probably continue to do that throughout the day. And then you get these notifications, by the way, that are nonstop that tell you, hey, if you've spent half an hour not touching your phone, well, your phone's going to remind you, please touch me.
Yeah, and that is an important thing to do. I really recommend to everybody. First have a positive goal. So think to yourself, what do you actually want to be doing with your time in your life? How is your phone interrupting that? Because I want you to get a little mad at your phone and the makers of Instagram, because that's deliberate. They are making it so that it's deliberately difficult to not check. Yeah. And then I want you to actually make some changes to your phone itself so that you take control of your phone. Because right now, if you have all those notifications on by default, you're allowing anyone in the universe anywhere to interrupt you at any moment for whatever they want or whatever the algorithm wants. So it's time for you to take control. So in Instagram in particular, there's two layers of notifications you can adjust. There's the ones within the app. So you go into Instagram itself. You can choose what you actually want to be notified about. Maybe you don't need to know about every single like. See what it's like to not have those show up. Maybe you just want to be notified if you've got a direct message. And then within your phone, you can actually turn off notifications for Instagram entirely so that you only get notifications for Instagram when you're in Instagram. And when you are in Instagram, you only get the notifications that you choose. So I really recommend people experiment with that so that you can actually take back control of it. Because you have to keep in mind, Instagram makes money by getting you to be addicted to Instagram. Yeah. The more time you spend on Instagram, the more information it's collecting about you. Not just what you're sharing, but metadata, like what you're looking at, how long you're looking at it, what links you click, et cetera. And then it's using that information to show you extremely targeted ads. So basically every minute you're spending on Instagram is a minute that you are spending making money for Instagram. So again, I think you should get a little pissed about that. And then one technique I like to recommend to people, I read about it in a book about creativity, I think, was the who gives a blank test. And what you do is when you're about to do something on Instagram, post a photo, a comment, leave a like something. Ask yourself, who gives a blank? And you can fill out that blank with whatever you want.
Uh-huh.
And then if the answer is likely to be nobody, then don't do it. Now, the catch to this test is that nearly always the answer is going to be nobody.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
nobody really, it's a picture of my breakfast. Who gives a blank? Nobody gives a blank that you had a croissant. Those are just some suggestions. But, I think really trying to prioritize it. You want to be spending time outside with actual human beings, having interactions. And that is not what's happening on your phone. And if you're worried about FOMO, the fear of missing out about what you might miss on Instagram, what's the best that could happen? Someone's going to leave you a like and a comment versus what you're missing out on by constantly checking Instagram, which is the rest of your life.
Catherine, one last question for you here. It's one thing for me. I didn't grow up with this stuff. It's sort of come on later on, obviously. But if you're a kid and your whole life you've grown up with this and the notifications and the need to be on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, how do they deal with it?
Oh, I think they should recognize that they're being manipulated, and these companies think they're dumb. So if you're like a teenager or whatever, like Instagram is specifically designing stuff to try to get you to spend more time on Instagram. So yeah, you could be you're literally a follower, right? Like if you're following lots of people and care about your followers, that's really lame. Mm-hmm. So I understand that it's used to organize social things offline a lot as well, but I would just encourage teenagers and actually everyone really to ask who's in control of this and whether this is how you want to spend your life. And there's also an intervention feed that I started, which is at Screen Life Balance on Instagram. And what that is a series of images that are designed to jolt you out of autopilot and give you a chance to choose if you actually want to be on Instagram right now. So people might want to try following that at Screen Life Balance, and you'll see messages like, it's Saturday morning. Do you really want to be on Instagram right now?
Yeah.
Just meant to actually give you a chance in the moment to be like, you know what, I don't. Like, ugh. Gross. Thanks, Instagram, for trying to steal my life from me.
Absolutely.
Mad,
I would love to think that a little bit more. Ugh, gross. Let me get off this thing. Catherine Price is the author of How to Break Up with Your Phone. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.